Today we are going to put handles on our bacon cookers. I have a bunch of them over here and a bunch of them over here, and our tall mugs. And we use a large die to make these with the extruder. So I'm Sue with Salvaterra Pottery. Please visit us at salvaterrapottery.com and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also check out the pots that we make on our website. So let's get started. So I always have a little cheat with making handles, and that is I use an extruder, and I extrude great big strips of clay, and then I pull those to have it wide on the top and more narrow on the bottom, which gives a really pretty graceful handle. So let's take a look at the extruder. This is it. I already have clay squirting out of it. It's very much like a large Play-Doh factory is what I call it. So let's finish squirting this ribbon out, and here it is. And I squirt out a bunch of them and I set them aside, and then I'll use them as needed. So I'm going to take out this die real quick so you can see which die we have used in our extruder. And it doesn't take but a minute to take it out. So when I bought this North Star extruder, we were given some blanks with it. When I mean blanks, I mean this was a solid form right here, a solid piece. And we took a drill and we drilled these holes in here, and this is the die that we are using to make the handles that we are going to pull today. This is a commercial die that I had purchased that comes with the North Star extruder there. So this is the one I'm using. It is much larger than, let's say, one that I use for smaller mugs like this one. And this one was also handmade, same way, just you could see it's a different size. And we did this on a wooden block. This one we used their one blank die and made our own. By the way, this is much harder to drill. This is a really solid piece of acrylic that they give you. So that gives us a great big wide strip of clay to pull from. And here's what the clay looks like. You can see it. And that's probably about 4 to 5 inches long that I'm going to pull. So I always assess my pieces and how big they are and what makes sense, what kind of handle to put on them. We do bigger mugs, we do smaller mugs, we do big pieces, we do little pieces. And this is our biggest die handle that we use right now. And so this is a pretty big piece, or pretty wide piece of clay. And I would not put this kind of handle on a small mug, but I also wouldn't put a small extruded piece on a large mug or a bacon cooker. You have to choose your handles so they're proportionate to the piece. So not only do I want it to be attractive, I want it to be functional. This is a larger piece, it weighs more, it should have a larger handle. And it needs a larger handle for durability too, because if I had a little handle on here or a real thin, narrow spot on the handle, you hit it once and there's a good chance it's going to break off, or it'll cause a small, minute crack that you won't see at the time when you hit it, but later on it will break off mysteriously, and you'll think, well, why did that break off? Well, because it got hit at some point, and with more use, it got wear and tear, and then it broke off, which I do see once in a while when people bring pieces in that they have knocked around quite a bit, and they wonder why it mysteriously broke off. Well, there's no mystery to it. It's just that it got hit, and then it breaks off at a later point. So anyway, back to handles. Here we go. We're going to pull this handle. And I'm going to get a little closer. I wet my hands so it slides through. And I am actually want to narrow this way. So I'm making a narrow hand to pull. So I want it to go narrow from top to bottom. I also want this to be thinner than what I extruded. So depending on the shape that you want your handle, you need to change your hand. So right now I am narrowing it this way, and now I'm going to taper it down by changing my movement of my hand. And so that's pretty much how I want this handle for my bacon cooker. You can see where it's wider at the top, more narrow on the bottom. It gives a much graceful look. Okay, so I broke off the top where I was holding it from because it's kind of raggedy, and I'm going to stick it on my bacon cooker right here. And I did not score because I already have a lot of slip on this handle that I pulled. And then I'm going to eyeball it and attach it to the rim right here, and I'm going to give it a little push down. I'm going to pull off the excess, put that aside. I like to curl my handle under like this. Now here's a trick. So I have had these pull away from the piece if I just attached them like that. But if I push my finger down and drag it and get more of an attachment to the side here, it will stick and it will not pull off. So let me do that real quick, and then I will show you what I did. Okay, so now you can see where I actually drug this down to stick it on the rim a little bit, and that helps it to stay on this piece. So let me clean up this here, and I'm going to smooth it all out because right now it's just tacked there, so I could get the bottom part the way I wanted it. So I'm just going to smooth it out, smooth it out. I want the handle to look like it is actually starting here, kind of like a tree branch, and growing out of the piece. So it's nice and smooth. And then I check for shape, and I usually give it a little push down. Then the last thing I do is I add a little ball on the top. Let me grab some slip. So I made these little balls. I rolled them, and then I'm going to smush it like this because I like a thumb button on these. So I'm going to take a little bit of slip from here, add a tiny bit to my thumb button, and I'm going to stick it. And you're probably wondering, well, why did you stick slip on the thumb button? Well, because the thumb buttons have a tendency to pop off. How do I know that? It's just experience. I know that the thumb button needs slip. I know with all the smoothing that I do and the way I put these handles on, they do not. Because we make probably close to 1,000 bacon cookers in a year, we know exactly how a handle needs to go on. So this is our handle for our bacon cooker. You can see where it is wider at the top, more narrow at the bottom. It is thin, it has a nice big opening, and proportionately it is aesthetically nice, it's functionally going to work well. So that is why I chose the handle that I did. It has plenty of room for my hand, and this is lower than the rim, which means when I cut this off and turn it upside down to dry, I don't have to worry about messing up my handle at all because I intentionally put it lower than the rim. So there we go for the bacon cooker. So these tall mugs that hold about 3 cups will also get the same kind of handle. It'll use the same extruded piece because this is a really big mug. We sell it mostly to men, although women do like it too, but it has a lot of space in it for a man's hand, and it's a heavier handle because it's intended for a man. So we will be doing those a little later today. These mugs are a little soft. I actually threw these yesterday, and I threw the bacon cookers 2 days ago. So the bacon cookers are ready to go. I'm going to leave these out to the air, and hopefully they will stiffen up later today, and we will put handles on those. So if you enjoyed our tips with how to make handles, we hope you will visit us at salvaterrapottery.com. Until next time, we will see you. Bye.